We have somebody pretty special coming up, and I want to make sure I get it right. It's a woman named Carrie Able. She's going to talk to you about what she calls the virtual visual. She is an XR, AR, VR expert and a musician, and really, honestly, the best dressed panelist so far. So please help me give a very warm welcome to Carrie Able, who's going to come up and talk to you right now. Okay.
Hello, NFT.NYC. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm Carrie Able, a multidisciplinary artist and musician working with extended reality tech in all of my medias, including visual art. I believe that right now is the most exciting time to be alive as an artist or a collector. We are in the midst of a digital renaissance for which the implications will not be clear until years in the future looking back. Today, I will discuss where I believe we are headed and how the NFT and extended reality tech communities can help push things forward. So here's an example of some of my XR art, virtual reality, and recently I was in conversation with a generative platform that was interested in having my work as a lead. And upon studying my work, they realized that a computer could not make replicas of it because it was too intricate and unique and as a generative project. So I found that just fascinating as a great example of the symbiosis between computers and humans, and that I can't create this type of work without computers, and it can't create a version of it without me. So when I say the virtual visual, I mean the future of our digital lives past the 2D screens that we're so fixated on these days. And VR AR can help us connect with our real human interactions beyond the way that we do now. As you know, NFTs in the crypto community are vital in creating this digital economy. And I know if you're here right now in this room, you are the builders, you believe in this community, you believe in what we're capable of and the underlying tech, and that you're not swayed by market trends. The only thing that makes you old is not being open to new ideas. This is something that my grandmother said to me often on birthdays. And the first time I ever showed her a smartphone, she gasped and said, "I was born too soon." So one day soon, we'll all remember the first time that we saw a ubiquitous set of hardware that changed the world. The convergence of multiple tech innovations is one of the reasons I think it's so exciting to be alive right now. We're in the midst of a hardware shift between 2D screens and a more immersive and volumetric screens. The race is still on right now for the top tech companies to make the best hardware, as almost all of them have something proprietary in the works. The future may see a successful headset that seamlessly blends AR, VR. I'm also personally excited to see the author who coined the term metaverse in 1992, creating a company with other crypto XR natives that will build a metaverse-focused base layer. So imagine that you have a few friends over to show off your NFTs and amongst your physical works of art, and it's very seamlessly easy to do this. And when we reach those next levels of hardware, that'll be very easy to do. Right now, it's more 3D, or it's more 2D, and 3D NFTs are the future. And I believe that that's why 2D has been more prevalent. A way that I have solved this display issue with my own NFTs is through a custom app. And the app showcases both AR and VR, as well as other features. I think it's really important to build for the present with an eye on the future. So thinking of the future, if you're displaying your NFTs, how are you going to want them displayed? Are you going to want it to be more like a painting or more like a sculpture? Because if you're envisioning a sculpture, you're going to want that to be minted in a way that maintains that dimensionality. So what is the JPEG of 2030? I believe it's the GLB, which stands for Graphics Language Binary. Here's my exhibition that's up currently in Venice where I incorporate this. To truly prepare for what I believe one day will be called a digital renaissance, the NFT community needs to begin thinking more volumetrically. when I first began with 2D, I really had to problem solve about how to incorporate this in my own practice. And I spent a lot of time thinking about authentic ownership for collectors. When I share something on social media and it has the AR that way, I don't truly own that. Thankfully, GLB files are now supported by top NFT platforms, and these file types hold depth, color, volume, form, and even movement. And there are ways to incorporate sound and music. And these volumetric files allow for artists to build worlds and for collectors to engage with those worlds in public and private spaces. I was very excited to incorporate these elements into my current exhibition at the Venice Biennial that you can see here. And this is an example of how I solved this transitory hardware state while still incorporating NFTs and extended reality in a traditional art world setting. My first drop with Nifty Gateway was the day before, and it was sort of like filming with a GoPro in the metaverse because I was trying to capture my whole world. The NFTs are on display in this exhibition. You can see them there. And yesterday, a randomized winner of the edition holders was airdropped the GLB file, and I was just told last night that I'm the first person to airdrop a GLB, so I'm pretty excited to find that out. The volumetric files are also viewable on a custom app. I invite you all to download it and place the AR throughout this conference. It also asks you how you're feeling on a custom poetry button. And they're not coded with AI. It's actually something that I wrote as a human, and then coded based on emotional output of what I want you to read based on how you're feeling. The app also works in conjunction with the physical oil paintings, triggering an AR experience. With a more ubiquitous hardware, it will allow us to share and display our NFTs. AR and VR apps are a great solution until that point. Beyond this, the app is also developed to continue building creative communities. My work on View in Venice can be experienced here in New York or anywhere in the world, and I hope that it will also foster inspiration and collaboration amongst the NFT and XR communities. So what's so special about the virtual visual? Why build an app or paint volumetrically? For me, it's about painting with light. And you're able to sculpt in midair, and then you can select a light emitting brush, and you immediately see it affect everything in this world that you've created, similar to lighting a candle in a room. Imagine using a sound responsive brush that reacts to the music of your own creation. My father and he never really understood art, but we always connected very deeply on particle physics and the science of light, and I know he would be most excited today about this creative tech revolution. My next NFT release I'm working on will be an animated GLB of the in real life sculptures on display in Venice, which anyone can view through AR on the app. As we step into this volumetric revolution, artists will be known more as world builders as delineations between genres melts away. As we all know, entrenched bureaucracies are resistant to change. Innovation is not driven alone, but by people who have great ideas and collectively implement them. We can predict the future by inventing it together. Tech will always be changing, but great art that will transcend speaks to generations of humanity. So I will leave you without answers, but with questions. Are you thinking volumetrically and dynamically? As the only thing certain is change, what will you do to help shape our future? How will your unique talents inspire and transform the lives of others? So thank you so much to NFT.NYC for having me. I'm Carrie Able. Feel free to download my app. And I'm having an event at Microsoft later tonight. If anybody is interested in coming, please email team@Carrie Able. We have a few invites left. So thank you so much.
We need we need better applause. I mean, she's come out, especially for a female musician creator. Carrie is sort of leading the charge for this sort of equality in the space, too.
Thank
as
you.
an innovator, as an artist. So please, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Can I give you a hug?
Thank you.